Yo, what's up? Eric Wong here, and I'm back with another Q&A. So Friday Q&A, we've been off for a little while. That's because I launched the shoulder flexibility solution and getting tons of emails and feedback from people already who have been getting the benefits from that program. So really happy about that. But now it's back to the grind. So we're gonna do the Friday Q&A, the Monday workouts and the techniques, and articles on the Wednesday. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel here if you're on YouTube, or if you're not watching it on my blog, make sure you go to my blog, ericwongmma.com, and sign up for my newsletter list, okay? Because that's how you're gonna get all of the stuff that I got for you. So we got a couple questions today. The first one is from Grant Vaka, and he's asking me, Eric, sprints for fat loss, how often in a week, and what is a great program? So I'm going to answer your question directly, and then I'm going to give you the big picture thinking. Okay, Grant? So we're going to get to this question. Then we got another question from my man LaTeef out in Inglewood, and he's asking about low back pain, specifically the type where it causes you to hunch over to one side. So we're going to get to that. That's number 2. But the first one, sprints for fat loss. So how many times in a week? What's a great program? My recommendation for sprints is that you do them twice a week. Okay, so if you're going to do them twice a week, one method that you can use is the 100-meter sprint and then full recovery in between. So there's 2 ways you can gauge full recovery. Number 1 is your heart rate. If it's 130 beats per minute or under, that's full recovery. Or just overestimate and go for 2 minutes of rest in between each sprint. So that's like 10 to 15 seconds, depends how fast you are. If you're Usain Bolt, you might be 9 point something. But 10 to 15 seconds for your 100-meter sprint, up to 2 minutes off. Or 130 beats per minute, your heart rate goes back down to, then you sprint again. What you want to do is work from anywhere from 8 to about 16 repetitions there. So that's how many intervals you do, and then you're done. Okay, so that's one type of routine that you could do. Now, here's the big picture for thinking. When it comes to fat loss, think nutrition first and focus there. And then your exercise program, instead of thinking of your training for fat loss, think about your training for performance, and you're trying to improve your performance. And this is how you go about getting long-term results. Because if you're just going for fat loss, like exercise for fat loss, sooner or later you're gonna hit that, your ultimate weight goal or your body fat goal. Then where do you go from there? What's your exercise routine look like? On the other hand, you can just think about performance, and if you got your nutrition dialed in, sooner or later, you're going to hit your weight loss or your body fat percentage goal, but you're still on the same track. You're still thinking about performance, and you're still going, increasing your strength, improving your conditioning, getting your heart rate down, getting your run times down, power, increasing strength in certain exercises, reps in certain exercises, how many chin-ups you can do. There's lots of different metrics that you can look at. That's why in Power Dojo, we've got 5 different areas that we assess, multiple tests for each area, that can keep you on track over the long term, okay? So check out more at powerdojo.com. That's the big picture thinking, Grant, and that's where I want everybody watching my videos, everybody who's following me, to focus. When it comes to training, you're focused on performance, okay? When you lift weights, you're focused on performance, not how is this weightlifting or how are these body weight exercises going to help me lose fat, but how can I increase my performance in this routine, in this program? Because when you think that way, that's when periodization comes into play, proper progression models, and changing up your routines and balancing your routines, okay? So my goal is to help martial artists. That's why my routines are balanced amongst different biomotor qualities. If you're just a power lifter, your performance goal is just strength, strength, strength. If you're an Olympic weightlifter, your performance goals are clean and jerk and snatch, okay? If you're a sprinter, obviously your performance goal, ultimate performance goal is a 100-meter sprint. So depending on who you are, what your ultimate goals are, that's going to determine how your exercise program looks. So that's my big picture thinking for you, Grant. Hopefully you actually take that and kind of think about that and wrap your head around it a little bit and put it into play, because that's where long-term success lies, okay? Now, let's go to a quicker question, not a quicker question, but a more direct question and answer from my man LaTeef. And he's asking me, he's actually got a long history here. He's kind of giving me his life story. That's okay though, I like hearing people's life stories. So I'm gonna shorten it up for you. Greetings, Eric. I keep getting muscle spasms in my lower right side of my back. It originated in Fire Academy back in 2003 doing old school alternating toe touches. Okay, alternating toe touches, I'm assuming it's something like that, nasty, will destroy your back. When it happens, it's very painful and I can't move for a couple of weeks till it lets up. And my body pulls to the right, which I'm gonna assume looks like this, okay? And I look like a walking boomerang for about 2 weeks, then sharp pains when I straighten up till it goes away. Okay, I've tried every muscle relaxer, chiros, acupuncture, ibuprofen, PT, heat cold, electric shock, muscle twitch things, okay? Okay, let's just fix this up right now. So if you're experiencing this issue, I'm gonna give you two things. Acute, if you've got this issue right now, and chronic, long-term, how to deal with this in the long term, okay? So acute, if you're walking around like this, for any of you guys walking around like this is the same kind of thing as people who hurt their low back and they're hunched over and they can't straighten up like this, okay? Except it's moved onto the side. So it's a disc issue. It is a disc issue. It might not be a full bulge or herniation, but it's a disc issue. So if you're walking around like this, then what often happens is that the disc issue is over on this side, it's on the left side, and your body's trying to get away from that pain. So the pain is over here somewhere. So your body's like, oh, let me get away from it. Same thing goes with the low back. When you're hunched over like this, the disc issue is on the posterior aspect of the spine. So your body's trying to get away from it, okay? Now it's counterintuitive, but you've actually got to get into that position to fix it. And it's gonna hurt a little bit at the beginning, but this is what you've got to do, okay? So it's the same kind of idea as my low back damage control routine, but we're going to apply it to the one side. So the problem is on the left side here, causing your body to hunch over to the right. So what we've got to do is you want to set up on a wall, elbow on the wall, kind of like a side bridge, okay? And just very gently, it's a hip pump. So you're going to be crouched over like this. So I'm going to imagine that I'm LaTeef with my back issue, looking like a boomerang. And what you want to do is gently drive the hip over very slowly. So you're going to go small range of motion. It might even look like this at first. And you're just going to keep going, trying to breathe, trying to relax, stay in good posture, and keep going until you can actually get the hip a little closer to the wall, okay? So the lateral hip pump here. And what we're doing is we're getting that disc and we're centralizing it. So the disc is probably bulging out to the left, and by doing this exercise, we're pushing it back into the middle and centralizing it. And what you'll find after maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 reps, I wouldn't do more than 20 reps, when you're relaxed and you're breathing and you're dealing with a little bit of pain, but just know that it's going to get easier, is you're centralizing that disc, and then it's going to be to the point where you're okay and you can actually straighten up and you're not like this anymore, okay? So this is what we're doing. We're centralizing that. Now, after you've centralized it, what do we have to do to fix this chronic issue? Is we've got to stabilize the spine. So there's a couple issues at play here. When you're hitting one side of your back is getting damaged like that and you're crooked, that means there's some kind of left-right imbalance in the body. And you're saying that your hamstrings are super tight. My guess is that your left hamstring is even more tight than your right hamstring. That would just be my guess, but it could be wrong, could be vice versa. But think about that. If you do a really strict stiff leg deadlift, you can kind of feel which one gets tighter. Okay, so you're gonna have to fix that imbalance. And in general, you're gonna need hip mobility, core stability. That's how you're gonna fix this issue long term. So core stability exercises, side bridges, lots of side bridges, lots of 4-point opposites, all that stuff that I have in the low back damage control routine, glute bridges, those are all key base foundation exercises to develop proper core stability. And then fix that hip mobility, man. You gotta clean that up. So if you've got tight hamstrings, which you do, in your email you told me, man, you gotta get the hip flexibility solution. www.hipflexibilitysolution.com. Fix that up. Make sure that you pay attention to the left-right imbalance, and that's gonna prevent the torque that's happening, that's causing the one side to be injured and damaged, and resulting in you looking like a boomerang. Okay, so there's some help for you. Try that out. Remember, go gentle, breathe, good posture. It's gonna hurt at first, that hip pump, but just keep doing it gently, increase the range of motion as you go, and you're gonna find it's gonna give you some relief. And then you're gonna be able to do other exercises to stabilize that core and to mobilize those hips. That's what you need. Okay, LaTeef, do that up. And if any of you guys have questions for me, you can ask me at ericwongmma.com/ask. I got a queue. There's a lineup right now to get get answers to their questions. But throw yours on there. The sooner the better, and you're going to be next in line when it comes time. Okay, so I'm back. Good to be back. Good to be out of the house and, away from my computer, back in the gym, doing these videos for you. I enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it too. See you next time. Peace.